Hi, my name is Jo Canning and I'm a principal with EMA Partners, and I'm delighted to be back again as a part of the Women in Payments speaker series, My Career in Six. And today I'm delighted to be joined by Ritu Khanna from Shopify. Welcome, Ritu, and I would just ask if you could give us a couple of words of introduction.
Thank you for having me, Jo. My name is Ritu. I have been in the financial solutions space for about 15 years now, and my most recent role, I am responsible for the US East market and the growth of it for Shopify.
Fantastic. So in line with the format of this series, I'm going to be kicking us off with 6 quick rapid fire questions, and then we'll get into 6 more detailed questions just to learn a little bit more about you. So if you're ready, we'll dig right in.
I'm ready.
Perfect. So firstly, who or what inspires you?
My daughter.
And do you attribute your success to good luck or hard work?
Both.
And what propels you forward?
A desire to solve increasingly complex challenges.
Oh, I love that. And a favorite quote or a motto that you live by?
To be grateful and view challenges as opportunities.
Challenges as an opportunities, that's good. And when applying for a new opportunity, what percentage of skills or attributes do you feel that you have to feel really confident in order to feel really good about your application?
40 to 60, depending on if it's internal or external.
That's a good point of differentiation. And lastly, in your opinion, what is the coolest payments company around today?
Stripe.
Excellent. So I think that was a great warm-up round. So we'll get into 6 more detailed questions just so we can learn a little bit more. So the first question that I have, Ritu, what do you feel has been your greatest challenge in climbing the ladder in the payments industry?
So I would say this is specific to payments, but I think at different points in my career, in particular, one was around overcoming the biases of my capabilities and ambition, especially after coming back from maternity leave, was a particularly difficult one.
Mm-hmm. And greatest career accomplishment?
It took a lot of different experiences to get there, but figuring out what I love to do and what I'm really good at.
Fantastic. And if there's one thing that you could have done differently, what would that be? And when you're thinking that, what kind of advice would you give to aspiring women that are looking to come up in this industry?
Yeah, I would say the advice that I would give either to myself or someone else in the industry is to really lean into the hard things, especially if you feel like it might be beyond you, and get comfortable with the discomfort.
Comfortable with the discomfort, exactly. And what have you done specifically to make sure that you are bringing others along on their journey?
I think the most valuable opportunities for me where I was given the runway and the trust to take on very difficult tasks. And that's something that I try to do for my teams, because I think it's such an opportunity. I think that the valuable part in that is to allow them to have the same access to the information, to the people that I have, and challenge them to think more broadly.
Mm-hmm. And how important would you say your networks and your connections have been in really establishing your career journey?
So I will say that any role that I've gotten in a new company has been through an introduction. So I'd say very, very important.
Great. And as a senior female leader at Shopify, what have you done specifically in terms of helping to really shape the culture of your business? And how open do you think Shopify have been to your input?
So I think as a fast-growing company, one of the things that we talk a lot about is how do we continue to maintain the nimble nature of a smaller company and take advantage of the scale that we've achieved. Mm-hmm. And that's not an easy balance to strike. And so culturally, what this means is creating the feeling of a smaller business where you have multiple teams working quickly together and having people feel very accountable to the end goal, and have the relationships intact and foster those relationships to have a collective impact. And so I've made very deliberate efforts to structure my team this way and set the expectations around that joint accountability. And it has had tremendous impact on my part of the organization. And I would say that the organization at large, as Shopify, is very open to it because we are rolling this model out in other parts of our business.
Well, I think that's a wonderful sentiment to leave it on. So that wraps it up for this session. Ritu, it's been an absolute pleasure sitting down with you, learning a little bit more about your career journey and hearing some of your insights. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.